Welcome to the WrestleMania Elite Squad panel here live at WWE World. How many of you have seen the Mattel reveals that we've already gotten this weekend? You've been over to the booth? Well, there is, of course, one superstar not represented. He may be among some reveals that we get here today. But no Elite Squad panel is complete without our leaders from Mattel. So please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the legends, Steve Ozer and Bill Miekina. There are Bill Miekina t-shirts in the audience. This is, you've come a long way, Bill.
It's kind of unbelievable when you think about it.
Well, welcome to WrestleMania, guys. How has WrestleMania been for you so far?
It's been amazing. We've had really positive reaction to all the reveals in the booth. It's been a privilege of mine just to be able to talk to everyone that's come by the booth and say how much they like what we're showing this WrestleMania. So yeah, so far it's all been.
I mean, these things are our favorite times of the year when we can meet all the WWE action figure collectors and interact with you guys and see your reactions to the new reveals. And this WrestleMania is extra special for me because it's my homecoming. I'm a Philly boy. Yeah. So my first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 15, and it's awesome to be back for WrestleMania XL and sharing that experience with you guys.
So we talked about the reveals that you've shown up. Were there any reveals that you've already shown at your exhibit here at WWE World that you were specifically excited for people to see?
I'm really happy with the new Dominic Mysterio from Elite 109. The full.
Give it up one time for Dominic Mysterio. Well, speaking of reveals, I think we've saved some of the best reveals for last, for today, for Sunday, and we've got a guest that I think we're going to share some of these reveals with. So please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming a former ECW champion, World Heavyweight champion, WWE champion, just about every type of champion that you can be, coming back to Mattel, CM Punk! How does that feel? Especially here at WrestleMania of all places.
It never gets old. It really doesn't. Like the fans here are wild. You know, I'm being a broadcast journalist. I'm having trouble with this button. I'll get it, I promise. But you know, doing the kickoff shows, and the entire time it's cold out. People are just standing there chanting. It's fun. It never gets old.
What's the vibe been like for you for WrestleMania in general? Watching kind of what it's become, right, since you've been gone.
So this is my first WrestleMania where it's 2 nights, and it's drastically different. It really does feel bigger. I thought I would, and I still might, because I'm not there yet, but obviously the plan was to compete at WrestleMania and didn't get to do that. Got hurt. Occupational hazards happen all the time. But to still be in the mix and to still be here doing stuff like this. And obviously I won 2 Slammies, that was pretty neat. But I've been pretty active and I've been pretty busy. And that I think has gone a long way to help my recovery because it's just been great. It's night and day compared to the last time I was here, you know, and WrestleMania is obviously the biggest show of the year. So for it to be 2 nights now, I think my perspective on it is it's really, really cool. And I think maybe 10 years ago I would have been like, 2 nights, what are you, crazy? And now it just makes all the sense in the world, especially for the amount of talent that we have in the locker room. People get to show out on both nights.
You know, throughout your career, there have been a lot of words that have been used to describe you. One of them is toyetic. Would you describe CM Punk as toyetic?
You say toyetic?
Toyetic.
Is that a word?
Toyetic is indeed a word. When you look at the screens around you, this is what it means to be toyetic, that somehow just you kind of going out there and being yourself lends itself to action figure form. When you go back and you think about some of the action figures that have been made from the moments that you've had, are there any specific toyetic moments that you appreciate being forever captured?
Well, I'll give you some of my self-deprecating humor. I don't know how toyetic I am. I think I'm a toy manufacturer's worst nightmare. I have a Pepsi tattoo. It's like the stupidest tattoo you could possibly have that you have to somehow cover up and make it into like a yin-yang or something else and just make it a blue blotch. I don't know, it's dumb, but that's what I love about tattoos, is they're so subjective. Toys are pretty subjective too. I think a lot of people would make fun of people for collecting toys or action figures or whatever, but a lot of these are special to me. I see the 2-pack of me and Steve Austin.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, that's insane. That's cool just to be, I mean, the number one, the biggest star this business has ever produced, and Steve Austin in a 2-pack. Like, that is wild. Did you not get that right away? Thank you. I see a lot of cool stuff. I mean, me and Taker, I honestly don't think I've ever seen that 2-pack.
Oh, wow.
A lot of this stuff, a lot of the merchandise that gets made for any given superstar, at least in my experience, I will see for the first time if I'm doing a signing. So somebody will be like, can you sign this? And I'll be like, where did you get this? What is this? Is this licensed merchandise? It always blows my mind. Mattel, I think, has always made the really cool CM Punk action figures. See the one in the middle there with the chest hair, pre-tattoo. This just makes me want to get a lot more tattoos, just so you guys got to keep up with the Joneses. You know, yeah, I'm here to stress you out. Absolutely.
It's also a lot of different hairstyles. Like, you change your look specifically, and Bill is the one over here that has to keep up with all those looks to make sure that the shelves still look like CM Punk.
I apologize.
Are there any looks from your past that haven't been made yet? This is really a question for Bill's research. By Mattel that you'd like to see in action figure form?
Oh, that's a question for the fans. I think one of the ones that I really, really liked is when I had my arm in a sling. You know, because I had surgery on my elbow. And I was excited because I was like, I get to go home. And that Vince was like, no, I need you to cut promos. Just gonna put your arm in a sling. And then I got a toy out of it, so you know, at least I got paid for my misery. I don't see, God, really. I mean, you got everything. You got like the 6 CM Punk action figure right there. That's when I was ill. I remember that. Different T-shirts. I don't see Bret Hart gear. I would like.
Yeah.
And if you really want a deep cut, there was the time I dressed as a mariachi and hit Chavo over the head with a guitar. We had to get real weird. Big old mustache.
I think John from Ringside is taking notes on that.
Good.
Well, I'm sure that you guys are here to see a CM Punk figure being revealed, but I've heard there may be more than one.
Well, I mean, when you came back, Bill and I immediately got together and got to work, and we put our minds together, and we want to do every look, past, present, and future across all of our lines. So we're going to start with our main event series. Formerly Basics, but we know that these figures are anything but basic. So kicking it off with Series 150, we're going to go back to a throwback look of yours. Bill, tell us about the head sculpt on this figure and why it was special.
Yeah, we picked this one because this represents your time when you were sort of on the outs with Paul Heyman and you had like a facial hair that kind
I was on the outs, all right.
You had like some the hair in the facial area kind of resembled like a Wolverine from the X-Men, and it was a really unique look. So when we wanted to put this one back out on the marketplace.
And of course, you know, you wear tons of different gear, different colorways and whatnot. So in 150, you're also going to have the chase variant, which would be this look right here. And we happen to have samples of these figures now, which we're going to put in the booth later. But if you could bring those samples out,
We got samples?
those out and see them.
Oh!
So here are,
Oh, I used to be so handsome. Thank you. I clean up well sometimes. This is super cool.
Yeah, so you can come by the booth right after this panel and check these figures out for yourself.
Can I just say, as a CM Punk fan for a long time, as you know, and an action figure collector, that's the first time that I've seen a physical CM Punk back in the line, and that is so. Are we excited? Yeah. I'm CM Punk back in this line. It's awesome.
Yeah,
really
I'm
cool.
excited for this. Now I gotta work on getting a Mattel Larry action figure.
Twist my arm. All right, so we're coming in hot with another look from the past in basic series. I'm sorry, main event series.
Main event.
Put another $1 in the basic jar. Main event series 154. Royal Rumble, one of your most memorable performances here. Bill, you know, any notes on this look?
yeah, this one obviously you still had the longer hair, the full, probably the fullest beard you had as a member of the WWE. So yeah, we're gonna go back and recreate that look as well.
Yeah, the 2010 Royal Rumble, I mean, that's a great figure to have because that was a big Rumble for you. I mean, it's a big time in your career. You eliminated like 5 people in that match. What was going on in your head? What was kind of the process like in getting in there and being a part of that?
I think the thought in my head was trying to maximize the time I had. Because Royal Rumbles are so action-packed. Everybody's not necessarily paying attention to what's going on in the ring. They're always, at least some point in the match, looking this way to see who's coming out next. It was a real gift that I was able to have a microphone in the Royal Rumble, you know. It's kind of a gift and a curse. You become so good and so known at cutting promos, they want you to do it all the time. And I love that because, I mean, hey, look at me now. I'm out injured, but I'm still here with a microphone in my hand. I'm doing pre-show stuff, calling matches at WrestleMania. Almost a little bit of a teachable moment for anybody in NXT or for any aspiring wrestlers out there. You have to figure out who you are and know who you are and know what you're good at. And if you're afforded such an opportunity like to be in a Royal Rumble, maximize your minutes. And I got to do that with wrestling and simultaneously cutting a promo, which is just entertaining.
Speaking of doing commentary, you better make sure that you take some reference photos tonight, because I guarantee you, if you're doing commentary in the World Heavyweight title match, Bill Miekina is going to make an action figure.
Yeah, we'll set that.
A commentator's CM Punk figure.
Okay, well, I should be wearing a brace right now. I keep forgetting it. So maybe we'll get the 3-piece CM Punk and a brace action.
I can't wait.
With Larry.
I can't wait. So we know the 2010 Royal Rumble, of course, you were part of a faction then. You've been part of a faction. You've been part of rivalries. Steve, are we going this route? CM Punk representation in 2-packs?
Well, there's not just main event single figures. There are our main event showdown figures. So we're going to pull from a memorable feud here, and maybe it's something you just mentioned a few moments ago. But let's go to a clip to show you guys what this gear is going to represent.
Tell me we're getting it.
So, we've lost our slides. Oh, here we go. Okay. So in this set, we're going to have Randy Orton, the World Heavyweight Championship, and of course, CM Punk.
Yeah! So there was an original version of you and Bret Hart here way back in the day, and it became a very sought-after figure. to see it get re-released. Of course, the main event series now has like hyper-articulation in the leg, much more realism to it. It's become really a part of a lot of elite collectors' collections. It's got to be real cool for you to see that represented.
Oh, 100%. Anytime, you know, I try my best to follow in the footsteps of those who came before me. Brett is obviously somebody I always champion and talk about. I'm wearing Roddy Piper socks today, not Brett socks.
Yes.
I think it's super cool for me personally to be in a 2-pack with Randy. You know,
All right.
me and him have both come a long way. We both came back on the same day at Survivor Series, and it's just enjoyable to be back working with a professional like him. And so it's cool I get to action figure share a 2-pack with him.
Yeah. And by the way, if any of you guys haven't seen Punk and Randy watching over their match and talking to each other, it's such a good video.
Yeah, it's like watching two bros go to therapy. It's fun.
What is it about Brett? I mean, we all know, anybody that's followed your career knows how much Brett's inspired you, whether it's from the gear, the matches. I watched you on the MMA hour hugging a Bret Hart buddy. What is it about Brett that inspires you that much?
Best there ever will be. You know, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Brett's consistency, I think his look, definitely his size resonated with a guy like me because WWF for the longest time was just like the land of giants. So you see a guy like Brett come in and hold it down for so long with quality matches. And he was a dude that I was like, okay, yeah, that guy is like almost representation, right? Like I look at him and I'm like, all right, I probably had long hair because Brett had long hair. You know what I mean? It's just like a punk band discovering the Ramones and being like, oh man, I want to play punk rock. I watch Bret Hart and I go, damn it, I want to be a pro wrestler.
That's awesome. Give it up for Bret Hart one time. So are we happy with CM Punk's representation in the main event line? Are we excited? You want more? Yeah! Last time I checked, this was the Elite Squad, no? Do we have CM Punk coming to the Elite Collection?
Of course we do. Of course we do. So as I said, we want to pull from what's past, present, and future. So we look at the relative present. At your first WWE matches back with the company at Madison Square Garden and in Los Angeles. So we're doing your black gear from those live events, and you know it is gear that sans some of the detail that you usually have. So we're plussing this figure up. It's the first figure with uniquely sculpted go-to-sleep hands.
Wow. With the go-to-sleep hands.
Yeah, with Cody Rhodes trunks on. It's true story.
Right?
Those are Cody's. Yeah.
So Cody did sign these figures too for you guys.
It's
There
true.
you go. You're welcome, Cody. Still getting your paydays.
I mean, even though this is not your typical gear, there's gotta be something so special about this. I went to the Madison Square Garden show, and it was so cool to see because it was the first time I was able to bring my son to a CM Punk match, and to watch you be his favorite wrestler, and to see him have to go to the merch booth and get an autographed CM Punk poster that's on his wall. It's just such a cool thing to watch you be able to do what you do now generationally. Is there some significance, even though it's Cody's gear, is there some significance to the fact that, yeah, that is your return to a WWE ring?
Listen, that is the significance. You know, if stuff comes together, you lean on your friends, you lean on those you can count on. And I needed a pair of gear, and he was like, here, these might be from OVW. He gave me like a couple of different options, and one of them had like a weird pattern on it, and I was like, I'm just gonna stick with like the young boy, just straight black, you know, tights. And I think it's very meaningful to me because if you know the context, you know the story. That's great. Also, I see the leg tattoos on there, the Han and the Leia. That's also very cool. I don't
May
know.
not make it to final product, probably.
Oh, okay. See, yeah,
Legal.
worst nightmare. Getting other licensed famous people's faces tattooed on. Yeah. Not a good idea, kids.
You know, I think one day will look at this potentially as a defining moment in your career, but it just happened, so not yet. There have been many defining moments, though, in the career of CM Punk. Bill, do we have CM Punk coming to the defining moments line?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, we do. We have a very defining moment in your career being represented this year at Ringside Collectibles.
And we're going to go to a clip so you guys can see what this defining moment is all about.
That aged very well.
How about that? How about Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech? Yeah, Barry, we talk about moments and we talk about what it's like for me being back here. The universe puts me where I belong, right? And I don't, and I'm glad, I text Triple H this. I said, I'm glad I don't live in a world where I had to watch Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame acceptance speech from afar.
Wow. Yeah.
I was front row, next to his daughter and his son. And listen, if I get hit by a bus going from here to Lincoln Financial, like, I've had a pretty rad life. But being on the outside, if I heard that Paul was going into the Hall of Fame, I don't know if I would have been able to try to come to be there in person. So I would have had to have watched it on my couch. I'm super happy to be back and get to see those kind of moments, you know?
Amazing.
I love you too.
Let's see what this figure looks like.
Yeah, you're sitting in suspense, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, we won't even talk about the render on the screen because we have a physical sample of this figure
Whoa!
for you to check out.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
It's sitting crisscross applesauce.
This is pretty neat.
Wow, look at that.
Giving Stone Cold a payday.
How many of you guys took like CM Punk figures and tried to add Stone Cold t-shirts to it to try to make your own version of this?
By the way, I don't know where it's at, if this is the location for it, but I know I gave him some of my gear. You can go see, like the actual gear that I'm wearing when I cut the pipe on him, including the same t-shirt. Like that is the shirt that I wear. I every once in a again when I'm cleaning out my closet, I see it and I take a picture of it and I send it to Steve and I'm like, you want to go? So yeah, that t-shirt along with the exact gear that I was wearing when I sat down on the stage to air my grievances, and now to see it in action figure form. So honestly, it's one of those things that like I would have maybe assumed that we already had made that. So knowing that we didn't and now we are, I'm right where I belong.
And this one here, this defining moments figure, you'll be able to pre-order this soon at ringsidecollectibles.com.
What an exclusive. What a good exclusive. Well, when we talk about defining moments, of course, we got to talk about the moment that I just got to present you a Slammy for. The OMG moment of the year was your return at Survivor Series. The night that hell froze over. I think, do we have a clip to show that moment?
Check it out. So as I said before, when you came back, we got to work immediately because we know that you guys want to buy CM Punk figures now. So what we're going to do is exclusively through MattelCreations.com. We're going to run a made-to-order pre-order for the return of CM Punk. Bill, start to tell us a little bit about the figure here.
Sure, this is a brand new head sculpt, obviously based off of the exact look you had in your face as you walked back into WWE for the first time in almost a decade. Also, we got a brand new leg sculpts to recapture the jeans as accurately as possible, and also include the watch, to check for clobbering time.
That assists you in telling people it's a certain time.
What's that?
That assists you in telling people that it's a certain time.
Correct. Yeah.
Just clobbering time.
Yeah, how
I was trying to cue that up.
I mean, I think this is so great because you told the story recently about how last minute this was and how it all came together within, days if not hours. I'm sure when you were when you were driving to the Allstate Arena, you didn't look down at your outfit and think to yourself, this is going to be an action figure one day.
No, I certainly didn't, and I was stressing because when I was just like, all right, you know what? When I was told, okay, you know what? We're going to continue to work on this and just start driving to the building, and I was like, well, okay. And I remember looking at my wife and I go, what do I wear? Like really, like it's not something that should stress me out. It's something like that absolutely sent me over the edge because I was like, I honestly, I don't know what to wear. I couldn't wear, you know, can't wear a band shirt. Obviously, you guys should be thanking me for that. So yeah, I just picked a plain ass white T-shirt. Yeah, real creative.
And now it's forever.
Yeah, but it was such an awesome moment. Awesome visuals associated with it. The Survivor Series entranceway, the War Games holding cells, all the iconography and logos that they use for you, the Hell Froze Over. So all that stuff is going to be incorporated on very special packaging done by our very own George Martinez from Mattel.
Yeah, that looks really clean. That looks nice. The colors, everything.
And you just mentioned the shirt, so we want to plus it up a little bit, Bill, right?
Yeah, the shirt's not only going to get the white T-shirt that you wore at the event, but also the brand new WWE merch shirt that was worn the next night on Raw.
Oh wait, soft goods? Soft goods.
All those soft goods, yes.
Yeah, soft goods.
So, CM Punk, this one is there's a lot of new tooling with this figure, but we rushed, we 3D printed it, and we have it here for you today. So bring out the sample.
Let's see this sample. Oh.
So that's the
Oh, jeez.
handmade sample.
It's a real T-shirt.
Yes.
How insane.
Soft goods.
This is this is super cool. Wow. Yeah, it's really cool.
You should sell white shirts on WWE Shop.
Yeah, did you save the white T-shirt the way you saved the Stone Cold shirt?
I mean, I have it.
You gotta find it. Now it's a.
I don't know. I have a lot of white T-shirts.
Wow.
Can I keep this?
Alright. So you can come check that out in the booth as well. So, MattelCreations.com. This is on sale now on MattelCreations.com. 2-week made-to-order pre-order window. So if you want one, get one. If you want one to open, one to keep in package, you can do that. If you need 200 to line a whole wall of your house with this particular figure, you can do that. So you can order that now through April 22nd on MattelCreations.com. But don't fret if you miss out because we will have a second chance sale early next year via WWEshop.com.
Well, guys, I mean, how are we satisfied with these reveals or what? CM Punk is back in WWE, and he's back with WWE Mattel action figures. I want to thank Bill and Steve for showcasing all this. I want to thank all you guys for coming out. Don't forget to get all your figure photography online with hashtag WWE Elite Squad. Don't forget to get to MattelCreations.com and order as many of those CM Punk figures as you need for your collection. Now through April 22nd, get it done now. And let's give it up one more time for CM